My name's Alexia, and I will be doing my video for the experience with the leader assignment. I felt I would rather do a video because I feel like I can articulate my words better, especially if I'm talking about it from personal experience. So I work at a Brawley's Ace Hardware here in Jacksonville. It's a small Ace Hardware. It is family owned. So we have about 7 or 8 floor associates. And on top of that, we have a manager and then another manager who is also the business owner. So like I said, it's small. We're very, very close. And with it being a small business, I feel like there's not much room for growth. It's you come in, you have that position. There's not really much more in terms of can I work my way up. So it's already kind of pretty established. So there was a time when I noticed like a leadership style that did not work. My first primary boss and the store owner was the store. The store has been open for about 2 years, so he's been there for the 2 years. However, the family recently purchased another business in White House, so they've expanded and he's had to transfer over to the White House store. So they brought in a second manager, and my second manager came into an already established business, coming into staff and personnel that is pretty tight. We're really close. We have direct communication with our managers, with the store owner. So it's very, very thorough, very direct. Everything is see-through. And so whenever we got this new manager, which had previously been at another business that they have in Palestine, they came over knowing that no business is the same. So even though it is a family-owned business, things are ran differently at each different store. So whenever my new manager came in, which had come in from the Palestine store, which is the original store, they came in wanting like, I do things this way, we've done it like this before at the other store, this is how we're gonna do it. It's very narrow-minded, very like, this is what we're gonna do. It's very centered. This is what I expect, this is what I want, this is what we're gonna do. And I think in terms of the environment that we had created there, where it was very up close, personal, super tight knit, and you have someone new and they have someone that comes in and they're like, this is what we're gonna do, no questions asked, this is the standard, this is what I expect, and this is what we've done before, not taking into consideration, well, in my opinion, not taking into consideration what was previously established, what worked there, what fit the business needs there. Because obviously, I would say from a personal perspective, Jacksonville, we have a very, very tight community, and a lot of our sales and our business is to normal people. Whereas the other store, the Palestine store, has business accounts. So they don't sell to normal people, they sell to these large businesses and corporations. So like the prison systems and Encore, we sell to regular people. So you have to accommodate your business to serve those. So when you have this leader, which in my opinion was an autocratic leader, because they came in with like wanting leadership control, making quick decisions, which is great in sometimes in some instances. However, it did not fit the needs of our business, but it surely did not fit the overall environment, and did not play to the personnel's advantage and abilities, because you're wanting them to come in and you're wanting them to follow you from the get-go. It doesn't work that way. So we had an autocratic leader come in, implement that style where they're wanting to just come in and say, this is what we want, this is what I want, I make the decisions, I don't really want the employee input. And it can really reduce the employee motivation and creativity. And it's mentioned in our occupational therapy manager textbook that you have to fit the needs of the business. And so I think I would have prioritized coming in, especially being new, getting a feel for what the business is, what we have, but most importantly, getting a feel for your staff. You want to know your staff one-on-one. You want to establish that trust, and you want to establish that respect. You want to build that relationship before you come in and dictate. So I think I would have probably focused on coming in, getting a feel for it, knowing my staff, probably meeting with my staff one-on-one, like, hey, what do you think are your strengths? What do you think are your weaknesses? Okay, this is what I see. This is how I can tie you in. This is how I think we're going to make this business work better. And at the end of the day, get the most for you as well. Get the most for our clients. I think that's what I would have done. I probably also would have done, like I said, improving communication. I probably also would have modified the leadership. Like, okay, maybe that's your way of leading. That's fine. But backtrack, maybe we can merge it with another one, maybe a democratic. So you can have an autocratic and a democratic, and it doesn't have to be 100% this, it can be 50-50, and your staff feels like they're heard, like they're not just being told what to do, like they're heard, they can have input, they can give you ideas. Maybe they're seeing something you're not seeing. And I think as leaders, we have to take a step back and like, okay, this is what it is. How do I help? And how do I fit and play to the needs of everyone around me? And it's not just like making decisions, it's you have to see all the perspectives. So don't come in and just think, this is what I want, this is my perspective. No, you have to sometimes get that employee input. Especially like your employees, like your cashiers that are working one-on-one, that see the customers day to day. Especially in my business, it's a small town. I'm a cashier. I see everyone and I know customers. I've built relationships with customers. I am like, oh, you're here again. And they're like, yeah, you're here still. You haven't left. I'm like, yeah. So I have a relationship with those customers. And maybe that is something that a leader can use. So as leaders, we have to take a step back. We have to develop sympathy. We have to read the situation, and we have to see all their perspectives. That way we can be most successful. And we have to get our employees to buy in, to feel comfortable, so that you can get the most out of your employees. Because at the end of the day, those employees that are on the floor, that are working with the customers, are the defining part of the success of a business, especially a business that's in retail, because you depend on your customers to buy from you to keep the business going. So I've had that experience. I think this leader that came in, so my manager, they've been there for a while, maybe about a month now, and they've accommodated. I think they've done a good job of accommodating. It probably wasn't the best. I think part of it is there was a bit of backlash from the employees, and the employees have gone to the higher up, which is our primary manager and our business owner, and they've voiced some opinions, and there's been communication with there. So it's been good communication, but it could have been a communication that could have been prevented if things had worked out differently, if they'd come in with a different mindset or leadership style. So yes, maybe it wasn't the best approach, but I think we're such a tight-knit group that it's kind of blended out to where, okay, maybe this wasn't working. And I think that leader, that manager, also picked up on that, because there was so much backlash and there was so much drama at the time, that they had to pick up. So they were forced to modify, but it could have been prevented. And that is my example.